Had these lemons up into this bag for about over a month now. They haven't even rotten or did anything. Is that normal? Do lemons last that long? Maybe because I had them sealed in this bag. It sees a little air in it though, but I don't know. It's been up there for about a month now. I had it on top of my microwave, and I'm just looking at it every time I like wash, anything in the sink. They'll be right there, and I just look at them. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe this is not normal for these things to last that long, but they've been up there for a month now. Probably a little longer than a month, and about a week or so. Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning back in to the Gangsters channel. I just had a question concerning schools. Because I was listening to something that it probably pretty much, I'm going to say probably, but it pretty much dawned on me, like with these vocational classes, like in some areas now. Let me give you an example of how this setup seems like to me, that it's something that a lot of us are not looking at, okay? You have a high school that's in a populated black area, right? I'm giving you an example because I know that they had a school that was like this that brought up to my attention concerning these vocational, how they stick in certain things. In other words, niggas ain't learning, getting no training, not because they don't want to, because it's not provided for them in their communities. Now let's get it. For an example, your high school is in a pretty much dominantly black community, right? You may have a few white people come there, or any people from other walks of life, you're Asian, you're African, or whatever may be the cause. Now, for the elective or vocational, however you want to call it, you may have that class offering photography and let's just say cooking. Now, this is how some of these schools are set up now, and I was kind of curious about that one time because I had a stepson one time who was taking up vocational in air conditioning, being that the vocational classes in a predominant, pretty much black or whatever other kind of nationality you have in it. But he said that the guy wasn't hardly there or something, like it wasn't really proficient of a class, and I think he was going for electrician or something like that. You understand? So I'm wondering if these schools that are in these dominant black areas versus other areas that's predominant with other nationalities, how is it that our schools are getting these unwanted electives or unwanted courses that's pretty much not gonna benefit them? Let's say you had a school of art institution or whatever in a country part of a state. I mean, let's be realistically, who is going to those classes? And if you're gonna go to those classes, you better be living in the city or metropolitan area. It's not gonna do you any good in your country area. These are just examples of how I think this system of schools are set up, with these classes where our black young men are not getting these vocational classes that's going to be beneficial for them to even start their own little company. Let's say they have plumbing in a predominant area where it's mostly whites and Asians, or whatever may be the case. You see, it's presented and offered to them with ease. But then when you have a community of black people in a school that's predominant with black people, you want to offer them photography or culinary arts. Like, what is that? Why aren't those schools offering vocational classes or elective in plumbing, hell, even engineering? You see, this is something that you guys are not looking at. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but because of my curiosity is curious about that, you need to look into that. Because we can have these schools looking good, but the elective or even the vocational schools that are in their area aren't offering the things to our children that our children are going to need in the future. And I'm using that word future because that's the language that we all understand, most of us, to get the idea of what we're basically saying. So you can't put photography in a school of a community that's predominant with black. Like, really? What if you put auto mechanics in there? You know, body repair, you know, even computer repair. You see what I'm saying? But those classes or those schools with those classes will offer that in another kind of communities where they're taking initiative and learning something in there. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to really look at this. Like, we so blinded by, we got a brand new school, but look at your electives. What are they offering your students to learn? You know, what do they know that the people may say, you know what, let's give them this class so they don't benefit them because they're not interested in that. Basically, pretty much putting courses or whatever that's there that's most niggas are not interested in. Just like reading books. You ain't gonna put a bookstore in no nigga neighborhood, in no community of blacks. You're not gonna put a bookstore in there. You see? And you know why? Because they know people don't like us. We don't read books like they don't like reading books. So you may have a bookstore in predominant areas where mostly whites and whoever else, like Asians or whatever may be. I'm using Asian because just to give you a demographics between the parties or whatsoever, you know, or whoever else nationality in there other than us. So you're not gonna put no black bookstore in no black community. So why would you put in the school system of a black community courses or elective that's not gonna benefit black people? Observe that. It sounds good that they offer such elective or vocational in these classes, but 9 out of 10, what they're learning. Why you don't have electrician in those classes, in those black schools or vocationals that's predominant in the black community? Why not? You see? We are known to learn visually. There's a war going on, man. Don't be naive about it. These people they got ways of doing things to make sure we're kept at a level forever. Don't have a predominant black area and you have a vocational or elective classes with cooking and damn photography. Now let's put it together. Now if you have white people and other nationalities or whatsoever, again, let's say Asians, in that school, who do you think most likely is going to take up those courses or they'll pick those as electives? And this is how we got to start thinking. You see? You got to start thinking like that, because what you think that's not, that's what it is. It's the Gangster Channel, man. Holla.